Hi, Marcus.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
How are
Good to see you
you?
again. I'm excellent. Good to see you again. It's been a while.
It has been a while. You guys, if you don't know, Marcus was my first royalty studio interview back in, I want to say it was 2022, December.
Yeah, that was in like January or December,
Was it
somewhere
January?
like that.
What? I think it was it December or January? It was either December 2022 or January 2023.
Yeah, January 2023.
My first royalty room interview, the sit down. Yes, it sure was. And you know what, Marcus? Thank you so much for coming on the show again today. It's so good to see you again. And I can't wait to get an update on what you've learned, even more so dealing with money.
Yeah, I hear an echo right now. Y'all hear that echo?
I don't hear it.
All right, so what we got to do?
Nothing. Just tell me about your update. What you been doing?
Oh man, I've been doing so much, so many different events. I've been working with the commissioner, Natalie Hall. Um, we've been traveling in different states. We've been at Invest Fest. So we're just trying to spread this financial literacy to any and everybody that is open to hear about it.
Mm, Financial literacy is something that they don't teach us in school, and a lot of us don't know how to manage money. I remember how you blew me away when you told me the first time all the things I was doing wrong because Netflix was eating me up. All them
Right.
apps.
So now So nowadays, a lot of people are talking about, you're hearing more and more about financial literacy. But what is actually financial literacy? What is it? Let's dive into what exactly financial literacy is, right? So we talk about, we hear financial literacy. So it's just simply about and understanding and wanting to know what is compound interest, for example. What is, how am I being taxed? What type of account is my money in?
Right.
Um, Cash flow budget, all of those different things where it's really just a question of asking questions. Like I use this analogy all the time. If we wanted to make a house, would we build it ourselves? Right?
Hmm.
Most people would say no, right? They would go get a carpenter. If
Right.
we wanted to if there was a problem with the plumbing, would you try to fix it yourself or would you get a plumber?
I
So
get a
with
plumber
this
because I mess it all up. I
right.
know what I'm doing.
So with this, exactly. So with this, why don't we do those same things when it comes to
See, the
finances, right? Why
problem
don't we get someone?
I was gonna say, Marcus, see the problem with finances is when people get money in their hand, they want to go to the mall, they want to go shopping, they want to go to the store, they want to go to Amazon, they want to go to the car dealership. That is the problem. You have to tell us how we need to turn our brain off from shopping and spending and put it into saving.
Right. So that's a good example of that is right now, right? Everybody can't wait for Black Friday, right? Ready to buy TV, this, that, and the third for Black Friday, which this purchase that somebody, now I'm not going to tell you don't do it. I'm not going to say, hey, don't take advantage of these sales and all of those things. But what I am saying is, how long do there's things that are called good debt and bad debt, right?
Oh
If
Lord.
these things that we're purchasing are going to essentially be liabilities, are those things that we want to be purchasing more than things that we're investing in,
You
right?
ain't
So,
lying
so
now.
one of the things that we talk about is, we talk about this a lot, is that, let's say, the middle class, we think of money, we think of money to be spent, right? Instead of thinking of money to invest it to make more
Right.
money. So these are just the mindsets. When we talk about the abundance mindset, we have to get away from that scarcity mindset. Like, oh, I got to get it right now while I have it. Let me go ahead and get it. And now start to think about, how can we make what we have make more, right? It sounds very cliche. It sounds very easy to do, But how many of us, when we look at ourselves, how many of us actually do it?
See, people don't know where to put their money, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know
Okay,
where, and they figure they don't have enough money to flip it into more money. And now I'm just, generalizing. I don't know how everybody think
right,
in the world. I'm
right,
definitely going off
right.
of how I think. But, just, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I follow you. So that's the first thing. That's the first myth. We're gonna call that a myth. So yes, we understand if you're, struggling to get the lights on. Okay, that's the difference where you may not be in position to invest at that moment. But you know what can happen? We can start. We can sit down and do something as simple as a cash flow budget. Look at everything that's coming in and everything that's coming out. After that, now you can see, okay, I may be able to trim some things here, trim some things
Right.
there. Now I have an extra $100 here, $200 here. Now that can be money that can either be saved or that money that can eventually be invested. And now, when you slowly start to get that habit, habits are going to determine our future, whether it's going to be a good future or a bad future.
That's
Those
true.
habits are going to determine where you end up. And so when you ask about places to put your money,
Right.
there's a many of places to put it. Now, that's where you want to get that financial literacy and understand, okay, there's three pots where no matter if you have a little bit of money or a lot of money, you're going to fit in one of three different categories. There's fixed categories, which are fixed accounts, which are your bank accounts, your savings, your checkings. There are also your variable accounts, which is accounts that are attached to the market, your crypto, your stocks,
Oh,
your
Lord.
401ks, things of that nature, where because it's attached to the market, it's going to fluctuate. And then there are index accounts. Index accounts are accounts that don't are not attached to the market, but they mirror the market. So what you're able to do with those type of accounts is you're able to lock in the gains when the market is up, but then when the market goes down,
You don't
you don't
lose.
have to worry about losing any money. There you go.
Guess
You got it.
guess
See?
what?
You on point.
Guess what, Marcus? I got
What's
an
that?
IUL.
There, there you go. There you go. And you ain't come see
Marcus,
me?
huh?
And you ain't come see me? See? I'm I'm happy, but I'm sad. No, I'm happy for you. No,
No,
because
okay.
listen,
Tell these guys what an IUL is. And you know what, Marcus? Had I not interviewed you and you not educated me, I probably would have never eventually 2 years later got the IUL. Tell these guys what an IUL is and why it's so amazing.
okay, good. So this is where we start to look at taxes, right? There's two things. There's so many different concepts when you talk about an IUL. What's an IUL, everybody? An IUL is an index universal life policy. So it's a life insurance policy, but not a traditional insurance policy. It's the new insurance policy to where you have the coverage of a whole life. You
Mm-hmm.
have the tax advantage, meaning you can put money into this account and it can grow compound interest. And when you're ready to take money out, there's no taxes involved, which is key because right now we don't know where taxes are going to be going in the future. But if you have an account to where no matter where the taxes are in the future, you can pull it out and there's no taxes involved. That's something that you want to look into.
Right.
Also, as far as growth, this is a wealth building vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
This is an account where you can actually dump lump sums of money into this account tax free. It can grow compound interest. And again, you don't have a 59 and a half rule like you have with a 401k, IRA,
What is
a
this 59
403b.
and a half rule?
So 59 and a half rule means you can put money into this account, but you can't touch this money before the age of 59 and a half
Gotcha.
without having a 10% penalty attached to your state and your federal taxes.
Mm-mm.
So, so That's where you can get all of those things wrapped in one, and it's called an index universal life
Yeah.
policy. And it's no different than a 401k, a 403b that we hear about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tax code, and this tax code for the IUL is a 7702A.
Look
Write
at
that
you.
down. You can Google it. You can Google it, and it'll tell you exactly what I mentioned. You can put money into this account tax free, and you can also take money out of this account tax free because it has the umbrella of life insurance wrapped around it.
Right.
So that's major. So that's a good thing that you did, Kia. That's a great thing.
Thank
Everybody
you.
should have one in their portfolio.
Yes, yes. It came full circle. So thank you for educating me, Marcus. And
Yes,
hopefully
yes,
it doesn't
ma'am.
take a year or two for these guys that are watching today to get an IUL because like Marcus said, it's an amazing wealth building vehicle. It's almost like buying a house without having a house because the market goes up, but it doesn't drop down when the stocks go down. So that's really a major thing right there. So it's going up, 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 and not dropping all the way down when stocks drop all the way down. So and you can take money out of it. You know what I'm saying? So say for instance you need $5,000 and you've been paying on that every month. It got $5,000 in there. You can take it out without having to deal with those
Absolutely.
tax benefits. I mean those tax penalties
Interest rates.
and
Yes,
interest
and interest
rates.
rates. So,
So it's like a house. Like when you have a house, people say, "Oh, I borrowed against the house, I refinance." It's like
absolutely.
having a house without having a house. So once I got that, it only took me 2 years, Marcus. It only took me
2 years.
2 years.
Hey, you got it. It's never too late. Never too late. So,
Listen, y'all, don't be like me. Learn from Marcus. Marcus Faison. Do you hear me? He tell you about financial literacy and wealth, okay?
yep,
And he taught me, little on me, because let me tell you something. I know a little bit about a little bit, but when it comes to money, I like to spend it. And I told Marcus that, and he was like, okay, but you gotta save it.
yeah, you gotta save it. You gotta invest it. We gotta know how we're getting taxed on it. All of those
All
things. When
those
we
things.
start talking about, just think about this. Well, we always have a mindset of thinking about the now, but we also have to get a mindset of thinking about the future, right? Nobody wants to do whatever they're doing forever and to the capacity that they're doing it. So the things that we have to start thinking about is not necessarily retirement, right? Because some people say, I'll never retire. But what about just scaling back, working if you have to work? I mean, if you want to work and not because you
Right.
have to work, how do you prepare? How do you get prepared for those positions to be able to be in those positions to say, hey, I want to retire when I feel like it. I don't want to work until 70 years old and I have to work just to pay the bills. I have to work because of inflation. The time is now. The time is now. We're in a period right now where $84 trillion is going to move between Generation X, Generation Z, the $84 trillion is going to move. So where is your money moving? How is your money working for you? Right. So those are the things that we sit down and we educate on those things to where we don't manage anybody's money, but we do educate so that people have and can make educated decisions
Right.
with their money. And we're able to do that complimentary. So we're going to teach someone without a charge. And because of the strategic partnerships that we do have, we're going to be able to position people with the goals of their financial goals in mind. And then not only that, they're going to be able to use these things to their advantage when they want, how they want. And this is just a powerful, that's just one of the powerful tools that we can share with people, the IUL. But there's a lot more that we can tap into. It's just the fact of we have to actually tap into it, right? If we have the actual information here, what will we do to actually execute and implement these information that we get.
Now, Marcus, how can people get in contact with you? Because they hear you, and if they're anything like me, they hear you, they know it's good stuff, but it sounds like you're speaking German, and they need to be broken down into baby steps so they can understand it. Right on
Right,
a piece of paper in front of them, diagrams. I need pictures,
right,
all kinds of stuff
right.
like that. Like the book that you gave me was very helpful. How can
Okay,
they reach out to you and get that information?
okay, cool. So everybody, I'm on Instagram. My Instagram is at MVF, the number two, MVP. And then if you have Facebook, I'm on Facebook just under my name, Marcus Faison. And you can just reach out to me. You can send me a DM, and just say, hey, I want to get more information. And we can touch base from there and kind of set up a time. I can send you my calendar. You can book a time on there. Again, it's all complimentary. We want to get this information to as many people as possible. It's financial literacy, man. It's 2025 we're going into. We have to get, and especially in our community, we have to get this information out there because it's readily available to us. We live in the internet world now.
Yeah.
So that those excuses of we don't know, those are out the window now. We gotta start
Mhm.
checking in and signing in and tapping into the information that's out
You know,
here. So
I
that's how
think
you
it's
can reach me.
amazing. It's amazing that you offer that information to people, complimentary, because we need to know this information. And even though we're in the internet age, we still kind of have to have tips on knowing what to look up, you,
Right,
you know?
exactly. And just like anything else, we need everybody, you need a coach for everything, for accountability. You need a coach for all of those things. And
Right.
we usually seek out those professionals for everything else except our money. The question is
Right.
why? 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 Right? And we know and this is not non-judgment zone. We're not when we know that finances causes anxiety, causes stress.
Yeah.
It's the number one reason for divorce in this country.
Right.
So
I can see it.
yeah, so it's a no judgment zone because we're looking to correct these things. Financial illiteracy is the biggest crisis that we have in the world.
Yeah. It's pretty much a pandemic. A
Right.
lot of people don't know
Absolutely.
how to manage their money. Marcus, I want you to put your Instagram in the comments, okay,
Okay,
so I can pin
let
it.
me put that in. Okay, I'm gonna put that in there right
Yeah,
now.
because I want to go ahead and pin it so people can reach out to you, so we can get our money together, honey. In 2025,
Right,
it needs to start. Our money
2025.
needs to start working for us.
Absolutely.
I
I
mean,
put it in there. Did you see it?
I do. I'm trying to figure. Yeah, I pinned it. Yeah, yeah. Our money needs to start working for us, and thank goodness I just started my IUL a couple months ago. So,
Okay.
I'm just at the beginning. But a year from now or so, if I need to borrow against it, who knows? I have that option, and we
Right.
want to be able to make our own banks.
Exactly.
We're our own banks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Instead of having to go to the bank and get that high interest rate tacked on, you could be building this. You could be building something for yourself to where now you're going to take that money out from yourself. If you choose to put that money back, guess who's getting that interest rate now? You are on your own money and not the bank.
Really?
So yeah, things to think about.
That's amazing. I mean, I didn't even know that, and I got an IUL. I just knew you said it was a good idea because I remember you told me about the index and the universal.
Right,
We talked about it,
right.
and then I
We
had the
talked
book,
about it.
and I read through it, and you know what? I'm so glad we did that interview. I know a lady reached out to you not too long ago. Have you
Absolutely.
for about it, and y'all
We
connected, and I'm
sat down. We sat down and we're looking at some things. And from that we got back in contact and we're here today. And now we're gonna reach out to some other people.
yes,
And
we are
that's the beauty of it. That's the goal. So keep doing
full
your thing.
circle, full circle.
Full circle. Absolutely. I thank you. I thank you for having me on your platform then and now.
Oh, thank you, Marcus. Thank you for coming on and educating us. We need you. We need you to educate us on financial literacy. I do. I'm very transparent with you about
Right.
what
Yeah, I
about
know.
what I know and what I don't know. And
Right.
we all have areas that we could improve upon. So thank you, Marcus. And
Hmm.
listen, anybody else out
Absolutely.
here who feels like you can learn something or you can learn a little bit more about financial literacy, please tap in with Marcus Faison. I
Uh,
have his
good.
Instagram pinned. It's MVF2MVP. Tap in with Marcus Faison. He's easy to talk to, and his consultation is complimentary. He's gonna tell you how to get your money right.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks again for having me, Kia. I'm looking forward to all your podcasts, your interviews, and everything else. So
Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward to it.
Thank you, Marcus. It's so good to see
All
you
right.
again.
Likewise, likewise. We'll tap in. We'll tap in soon.
Of course. We're back in
All right. You have a good
alignment.
one. Exactly. I'll see you soon.
Bye, Marcus.
All right. Bye bye.